Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we are diving deep into a really powerful novel from Mitch Albom called The Little Liar. It's this incredible story about how one single, devastating lie told during the Holocaust can echo through an entire lifetime. Right from the get-go, the book just grabs you. The narrator, it's truth itself, personified. And this is so important, right? It immediately tells you, hey, this isn't just a history lesson. No, this is about the epic battle between what's real and the lies we tell ourselves and others. It perfectly sets the stage for a boy who's about to spend his whole life trying to run from something nobody can ever truly escape. Okay, so let's set the scene. We're in Salonika, Greece. It's this bustling, vibrant city with a huge, thriving Jewish community. And right here, we're about to meet four people whose lives are going to get tangled up forever, all because of one single horrific moment. So at the center of this whole thing is a young boy, Nico Crispus. Now, Nico's special. He's known for being almost pathologically honest, and he's got this amazing gift for languages. Then you've got his older brother, Sebastian, who's a bit more serious, their childhood friend, Fanny. And then there's the villain of the story, a really cruel Nazi officer named Udo Graf. He's the one who orchestrates all the pain. You have to understand, before the war hit, life for them in Salonika was just full of family, tradition, community. But when the Nazis rolled in, it all started to crumble, systematically. They took their homes, shut down their schools, basically just stole their futures, one piece at a time. And it all leads up to this awful moment, the forced roundup of every single Jewish person in the city. So in the middle of all this chaos, as people are being dragged from their homes, little Nico manages to hide in a crawl space. And who finds him? Udo Graf. But here's the twist. Instead of just arresting him, Graf looks at this innocent, trusting kid and sees an opportunity, a truly monstrous one. Graf is just disgustingly clever. He zeroes in on the one thing Nico cares about more than anything, his family. He tells him, you can be a hero, Nico. You can save them. All you have to do is this one little thing for me. He just completely twists Nico's love and trust, using that gift for languages to turn this incredibly honest boy into a pawn for the Nazis' horrific plan. And this is the moment the entire story hinges on. It's absolutely devastating. Nico, the boy who never lies, stands on that train platform and tells his own people, his neighbors, his friends, the big Nazi lie, the lie of resettlement. He tells them they're going to new homes, new jobs, that they'll be safe. But he's actually, unknowingly, sending them straight to the gas chambers at Auschwitz, his own family included. In that one moment, his whole world, his whole sense of self, just shatters. His relationship with truth is broken, maybe forever. You know, that one moment at the train station, it's like a prism. It takes this one shared story and just shatters it into four completely different paths. Their reality is broken, and from here on out, each of our four characters is sent on this long journey, a desperate search for their own kind of survival, whether it's physical, emotional, or moral. So let's start with Nico. He's now the liar, and his survival is this total paradox, right? To atone for the lie, he has to become a lie himself. He completely erases his past, changes his name, everything. He ends up becoming this super wealthy, super reclusive Hollywood producer, all while being completely tormented by what he did. Then there's Sebastian, his brother. He's the hunter. He actually survives Auschwitz, but he loses his entire family. So his survival is fueled by pure rage, a righteous fury. He dedicates his whole life to hunting Nazis, and he's got two names at the top of his list: the monster, Udo Graf, and his own brother, Nico, who he thinks was a willing traitor. It just goes to show you how trauma can twist everything, even a brother's love. And Fanny, the survivor, she does something incredible. She jumps from the moving train to escape. Her path is much quieter. A kind woman hides her, saves her life. Eventually, she finds and marries Sebastian. But even with that reunion, their shared trauma is like this shadow that hangs over them. It's a constant reminder of how hard it is to build a future when your past is always right there. And what about the villain, Udo Graf? Well, his survival is maybe the most sickening of all. It's the survival of unpunished evil. He gets away with it. After the war, he uses what he knows to get protection from American intelligence, of all people. He ends up living this quiet, comfortable life in the suburbs, all while secretly funding neo-Nazi groups. The evil just never, ever went away. Okay, fast forward 40 years. Decades have passed. And then a single event is about to pull all four of them back together, back into the same orbit. And where does it pull them? Right back to the very train station in Salonika, where everything fell apart. So why are they all back? Well, everyone has their own reason. Sebastian's there to lead a march, to make sure no one ever forgets the Greek victims. Fanny, of course, is there to support him. Udo Graf, he's there to kill again. He plans to assassinate Sebastian. And Nico? Nico finds out about the plot. He comes back to stop Udo, and maybe, just maybe, to finally confront his own past. And this leads to the climax of the story, and it is just incredible. Udo Graf is in position, he's aiming his weapon, and suddenly, a voice comes over the station's loudspeakers. It's Nico. He's broadcasting a confession to everyone there, telling them the whole terrible story of what he was forced to do as a little boy on that exact spot 40 years earlier. His voice, his confession, it creates just enough of a distraction, just enough chaos. And in that moment, Nico makes his move. He tackles Udo Graf. There's a struggle and Nico is fatally wounded. But he does it. In his final act, he saves his brother. He stops the assassination. But Nico's death isn't really the end. It's a revelation. It's the key that unlocks the truth of his entire life. We finally see that he wasn't defined by that one lie he was forced to tell. No, his whole life was secretly guided by this beautiful, profound idea of goodness. See, years ago, his grandfather taught him about a Hebrew concept called chesed shel emet. It means a true and loving kindness. And what makes it so special is that it's an act of goodness for someone who can never, ever pay you back, like the dead. It's considered the purest form of kindness. And that one idea, it became the secret mission of Nico's entire life. And this is where we learn the full truth. We see the incredible scale of Nico's secret life. He spent decades, and all of his fortune, performing this ultimate act of kindness. He found thousands of Holocaust survivors and their families and anonymously sent them money, year after year. It was this silent, massive, lifelong effort to try and balance the scales, to repay a debt that he knew, deep down, could never really be repaid. So, in the end, The Little Liar doesn't just wrap everything up in a neat bow. It leaves us with a really big, really tough question. It makes you think about guilt and truth and the different ways people try to survive the unthinkable. And it asks us, is it possible? Can a whole lifetime of doing good, of atonement, ever truly wash away the stain of one single catastrophic lie?